Hey guys, welcome to Blending Today. Today's February 4th, and we are doing a Unit 3 review. So it's Unit 3, Week 4, when we are just going to brush up on all that stuff we've learned from Unit 3, including our long vowels like the A blank E, the long A, and the I blank E, the long I. And we're going to work a little bit on the soft G sound, which is going to make that J, like jump. Okay, that's what it's going to sound like. It's going to be spelled with either DGE at the end of a word or GE, which can come at the beginning or the end. And we're going to work on that soft C sound, which is going to say the S, and that will be spelled with a C, E. And remember, A blank E and I blank E, that blank can be any letter. Sometimes it's a G, the soft G, J, or sometimes it is a soft C, the S. So you kind of just have to know that you can switch back and forth when you are reading a word, when you're trying to sound it out in a book. So let's go ahead and do our high frequency words. Of course, if you know the word, say it, practice your skills, and if you don't, definitely practice. Some, today, why, away, now, way, green, grow, pretty, should, together, water, once, from, upon, so, any, happy, how, old, girl, boy, people, ago, every, by, done, work, soon, and after. Wonderful, thank you. All right, first word, brave. Your turn. Brave, brave. So this word, brave, has the long A blank E. And when you say the word brave, you hear that letter A. You hear how it says its name. B-R, bur. A blank E says the long A. And in the word brave, take a guess. What do you think that blank is going to be? V. That's right. Thank you so much. I saw some lips going. So brave. Next word. Nate. Your turn. N-A-T. Nate. So this is like Nate the snake that we read a couple weeks ago. And since it's a name, since Nate is the snake's name, has to be capitalized. And says, Okay, so when you have A, you see it when you're sounding out a word, and it says O. A says A, like apple. And then you keep reading through the word, and oh wait, there's an E. So that means I have to switch it and turn it into long A. 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 T says ta. N-8, Nate. Next word, late. Your turn. O-A-T, late. Just like Nate the snake, he was late. So when I say Nate and I say late, I hear that same ending sound. They rhyme. They both sound like 8 at the end. So L says A. So I bet going to have a long A. A. That's A blank E. Ol A. T says ta. Ol A. T. Late. All right, next word. Make. Your turn. A. Long A. Ka. Make. M says A blank E says the long A sound. So remember that E doesn't even say anything. It's just there to tell the A, hey dude, switch from A to A. So when you're reading through it, you don't even need to say an E. You get to that A and, oh wait, there's an E. It says flip. K says ka. A. Make. All right, so now we're going to do some short I words. Or not short I, I'm so sorry. Long I. Somebody caught me there, I'm sure. So long I says I. It says its name, just like long A does. And it's going to be spelled with I blanky, just like long A was. A blanky, I blanky. Okay. First word, Mike. Your turn. I, Mike. So Mike is a name, just like Nate is a name. So we must give that a capital letter, and it's also a noun. M says I blanky makes the long I. I. K says ka. I. K. Mike. Mike. So maybe you know somebody named Mike, and when you see their name, you just know automatically that the word is Mike. But that's also because you've seen it so many times that you don't have to sound it out. You just know. You see the I, and you don't even have to realize that there's an E there, and you have to switch it from I to I because you've practiced it, because you've seen it so many times. All right. Fine. Your turn. I. Fine. So the same goes for all of these words. Once you have seen them and practiced them a lot of times, you won't even have to think about switching it from the short sound to the long sound. You will just know it, almost like you've memorized it, like you have memorized the high frequency word, because you see them and you practice them a lot. I blanky makes the switch from I to I, and says fine. Shine. Your turn. Sh. I. Shine. So when I say the word shine, I hear that digraph. S-H. Sh. I blanky makes that long I sound. Sh. I. And says shine. Shine. Next word, vine. Your turn. I. Vine. So V says V. I blanky says I. And says vine. So look at the words fine, shine, vine. They all sound the same at the end. That means they all rhyme. That means that most of the time they're spelled the same at the end. And they all have that I-N-E. Ein. It's not a real word, but it's the sound. Ein. Ein. All right, now we're going to do some soft C and some soft G. Sorry, guys. There's a soft G, which sounds like ja, and soft C, which sounds like s. All right, first word, Lance. Your turn. Ol. Ah. S. Lance. Lance. So Lance is also a name. We got a whole bunch of names on our board here. L says ol. Got to be a capital. A says ah. Notice how when I said the name Lance, you don't hear A. You just hear ah. Ants. L says, or N says n. An. Lan. And C-E makes that S sound, that soft C. S. Lance. So I think I said it yesterday. Even though once you see A and you go farther in the word, you see E, it's not the same as A blank E. It has to be A, one letter, E. In the word lance, or the word dance, or the word chance, there is two letters between the A and the E. All right. Next word. Edge. Your turn. Ja. edge. So notice how when I said the word edge, I only heard short E. I heard eh. E says eh, then I said ja, ja. So in this word, edge, that soft G is spelled with a DGE. Remember we talked about how DGE will only come at the end of the word. Edge, edge. Next word, mice. Your turn. I-S. Mice, mice. So when I say the word mice, I also hear the long I sound. Ice, mice. And it's I blank E. I. So once you see this in a book, you see M and then I, you go I. Oh wait, there's E. I, isk. Doesn't sound right. So you kind of have to know you can change it from I to I. And that E, it makes the rules. It tells you that you have to change I to I. And C makes that soft C, that S sound. Ice, mice. And that's word. Raced. Your turn. A-st. Raced. Raced. So when I say the word raced, I hear long A. So that tells me it's going to be spelled with A blank E. So R says A blank E says A. C says ace, race. Okay, so this word, raced, is going to be a verb, okay? So race can be a noun as well, like she won the race. It's not a noun that you can touch, but it is a thing. Now, if we're talking about raced, like what someone did, then they did it yesterday. She raced yesterday. She raced yesterday. And in order to make that word raced, you have to add a D. Aced, raced. All right, let's do a sentence. Go ahead and give yourself a stretch if you need it. We've been sitting for a while. All right. So G normally says ga. So maybe we change it and see if it says ja. Okay. We have to see the rest of the word, of course. E says eh. N says ja. N. Ga, N. If you tried it with a regular G, with a ga. Ga, N, gan. That doesn't quite sound like a word I've ever heard. So let me flip it. Turn it with a soft G. Ja, N. Jen. Jen is a name, so she's going to be a noun. It's also capitalized because it's her name. Capitalized because it's the beginning of a sentence. High frequency word like, which now that we have the I blank E in our pocket, that we can now sound it out. We always talk about how you can't sound out high frequency words, but now that you get more letter and sound skills in your pocket, you can sound it out now. Ol, look, there's I blank E, which tells you it's going to be I. And then K says ka, ol, I, like. So you can't do that with all high frequency words. But of course, when you see one, if you're not sure automatically what it is, you can try it out. You can try to sound it out. And if it doesn't sound like a word that you know, then you take a guess. Jen like. Doesn't make sense. So Jen likes. High frequency word 2. S says s. I says I. But oh wait, let's wait for the rest of the word so we can see if it says I instead, the long sound. S, I, or s, I. Uh-oh, I don't see a blank E here. So that means it's going to stay as short I. S, I, ng, like the sing card. So the word is Sing. Sing. High frequency word on. High frequency word a. st. Sta. Sta. A blank e. If I see this in a book, I see a. Okay, a normally says a, but oh wait, there's an e. It's got to flip, turn into long a. A. Sta. A. And G says ja. Sta. Age. Stage. Now, what if you try this with a regular G that says ga? Sta. A. Ga. Stag. It doesn't really sound like a word that I know, so I'm going to flip it. I'm going to try it with the soft sound. Sta. A. Ja. Ja. Stage. All right, so we need punctuation at the end of our sentence. So I would probably just use a period. We're just going to use a period today. It's a telling sentence. It's telling us what Jen likes. What does Jen like to do? She likes to sing on a stage because she likes to perform in front of everybody. I'm not much of a performer, but it's nice that Jen is. Okay, so let's do our nouns. Now, we already said Jen is a noun because she is a person. We talked about that a bit. And stage, we know that stage is a noun. It is a thing. You could touch it, but it's also a place. It's a place where Jen is going to be when she sings. Now, our sentence has two verbs here because Jen is doing two things. She sings, so that's something that she is doing. It's an action. Like and likes is also a verb. It is telling what she's doing. She is liking something. And what does she like? She likes to sing. So there's two things that she is doing. She is liking and she is singing. All right, let's read our whole blending board. Brave, Nate, late, make. Your turn. Wonderful. Mike, fine, shine, vine. Your turn. Lance, edge, mice, raced. Your turn. Wonderful. Let's read our sentence. Jen likes to sing on a stage. Your turn. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your focus and your participation. Definitely helps you out. We'll see you later.